SMD Law is the official law firm of the Spartan Nation. Check them out on the interwebs at smdalaw.com or at 866-529-3537. No matter where you are in the state of Michigan, Upper Peninsula, Lower Peninsula, it doesn't matter. They have an office near you. So whether you need to send a letter to an annoying neighbor, or you're a criminal and you need defense, maybe you just have problems with elder law, check them out, smdalaw.com today. The official law firm of the Spartan Nation. Call them first, then you act.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back, Spartan Nation. We now head out to a coach that's 3-1. His team is absolutely rising and doing a great job in Ypsilanti. It's rivalry week after a big bye. 3 o'clock on ESPN Plus coming up on Saturday. Let's welcome in Coach Chris Creighton from Eastern Michigan. Coach, how are you, friend?
Great. Thanks, Aldo.
I know that we can't discuss names for people that are listening that don't understand that. That's an NCAA rule. But I know your school got a chance to get out and do a lot of recruiting over the bye week. How'd it go?
Oh, it was a blast. No, it was great. Things are really going well in that category. So bye came at a really good time for us to be able to hit it academically with our guys here and a break from the non-conference going into conference play, and then recruiting. You know, guys are in the middle of their high school seasons, and we're able to get out and do some recruiting. So it was good.
Coach, let's talk about you now. Last week on the show, we talked about what you were going to do during the bye week. There's going to be a lot of lifting, not a lot of practices, a lot of hitting on the grades, which you just talked about. But on the physical front, how good was a bye week before a big rivalry game just for guys' bodies to heal? I don't think fans understand. Everybody who plays football is hurt, but there's a difference between hurt and injured.
No question. That's a good way of saying it. We did a kind of shake the rust off, really light practice last night, which is, you know, because we've got a chance to get ahead a little bit this week, haven't had the bye. If I asked one guy, I asked 20 guys, you know, how are your legs? And, you know, the response was very positive. And so, there's the aches and pains for a week of being able to tend to those, without, you know, the urgency, and the intensity of a game week prep is one thing. And then there's two, just, you know, guys there's one day a year where guys aren't hurt and, you know, are really, really at their best, and that's day one of camp. And so you want to try to recreate that in some way in terms of just feeling fresh. You know, we think that we accomplished that as well.
Coach, I've got to compliment your program in the social media at Eastern Michigan. They've really just done a great job the last couple of years and upping their game there. But you recently had a player get engaged that I thought was pretty special, and it really showed the family side of EMU football. Can you tell fans about that real quick?
Well, yeah, I mean, Des, you know, was going to propose if we won last week and hold off if we didn't. And so, you know, it's an interesting 18 seconds for him. But I'd forgotten about it, to be completely honest with you, with just how the game went and ended. And all of a sudden, all of our guys were getting excited and gathering over on the 50. It dawned on me that Des Kelly was going to be proposing marriage. You know, what you might be referring to is the tweet that we sent, you know, last night, which just, after I watched it a couple times, I started not focusing on Des, but on the guys, you know, watching. And Eddie Doherty in particular, number 40, here's a fifth-year senior wide receiver who just played 2 plays in our first home opener game. Right? I mean, 2 plays, and so that's not what he signed up for. But what he did sign up for was to be a part of something bigger than himself. And when you see him and the authentic, genuine, I mean, just absolute love for his brother, man, it just got me choked up, if I'm being honest. And And so, as amazing and incredible as it is the proposal and all of that, I think equally as amazing is the love that our guys have for each other in a moment like that, particularly when you're a senior wide receiver, and Dez is an interior defensive lineman. Dez is from Maryland, Eddie's from Ohio, offense, defense, all those different things. And he is just, the excitement that Eddie has for Dez is just out of this world. And I love it.
We're talking to Coach Creighton. I apologize about the quality of his phone going in and out, folks. He's on his cell phone. We didn't get him on his office. I apologize about that. But there you got the gist of what he's saying. So, Coach, now we turn our attention to Central. Let's start with them offensively. As you know, I don't ask for secrets. You wouldn't tell me anyways. But I'm just curious, as a bird's eye generalization, what do you notice from them? New coach, new regime on offense.
Yeah, well, the first thing to do is just compare it to last year. That was an Achilles heel for them last year. They had some quarterback injuries, they struggled offensively, and so here they are. Their starter has been out with an injury, and they're just playing good football. It's not take two. They're very different, and it's they're a lot to deal with, and they moved Tony Poljan from quarterback to tight end, and he's having a great year. And they've got some transfers that are eligible at the skill spots, and Ward, number 5, was injured last year, and he's not anymore, and he's as good of a back as there is in the league, and they've always been physical and really good up front. So their quarterback is a junior college transfer who is who's a really good player. Played for the national championship last year in junior college at Garden City, and so it's just they're different. They're better, that's really who they are on offense.
Coach, let's turn around now and look at the other side. How about it defensively? What do you notice from CMU? Again, bird's eye view, not looking for secrets.
Yeah, no, they're really, really good against the run. That's where you can tell that they're building it inside out. And it's interesting because if anybody has not seen the Miami game, they just absolutely played lights out versus Miami. And the more you watch, it was not just kind of one of those days where they caught them on an off day. It wasn't the case at all. They just beat them up, and only gave up 17 points. And then you might look at the Wisconsin game, where they lost a large margin. The interesting thing is, and I say only, but I think everybody respects Wisconsin. They gave up 199 rush yards. It was 600 or so total, but it was 400 in the air. And so rushing wise, they held their own. And this last week, Western was able to run the ball some, but they're, outside of Wisconsin, really the first team that was able to run the ball with any kind of efficiency. So, as all good teams do, it starts with the run, starts from the inside out, and they're very difficult to run the ball against. And so you figure out a way to do that, or it's going to be a long day.
Coaches like you who are successful and good understand special teams is called special for a reason. What do you see from them again, bird's eye from special teams aspect?
Yeah, the first thing is, just dangerous returners, and they're well coached. And so, they've had some big plays in the return game, and then, their kicker is a huge weapon. So those would be the two things that pump out right off the gate is dangerous return game, and a kicker who can really, really hit it. So we're good.
Coach, one last thing from me, and then I promise we're going to get you out of here. But when Tom Izzo was building Michigan State, and they started to be good, same thing with Mark D'Antonio. When they started to be good, then all of a sudden now they were respected. They were an NCAA team. They were a bowl team. And they started going into some games being favorites. They talked about teaching the team It doesn't matter what Vegas says. It doesn't matter what Grandma says. Each week you're competing against yourself. Every coach does it different, but I want to ask you because I think this is fair. You've done a great job rebuilding Eastern Michigan, but now on a pretty consistent basis, you guys are going into games as favorites now. How do you teach your guys to handle that? Because every coach I've been around who's successful like you talks about that's the process of going from good to great.
Yeah, no question. I don't think that you can have it two ways, and I think that that's a trap that coaches can fall in. Is that, hey, we're not picked to win, or these guys are really good, so we're going to be dogs and play free, and let's go. And then when the tables turn, it's a problem. It's a problem because now what do you do? Now you're the favorite. Now you have to deal with that. I no disrespect to media or anything like that, but like I don't know who these people are who decide who's better and who's worse. I don't know that I've ever met them. I don't know that anybody knows. Whether it's a 12-year-old behind a TV screen that has played football, has coached football, and nobody has ever come and talked to me about our team, during the season and how we match up and all this kind of stuff. So now, I'm not saying that there's not the power of all of that you have to contend with, but if you stay true, whether people think you're supposed to win or whether people think that you're supposed to lose, the great teams are always going after not just winning, but the ultimate is going after your full potential, playing great football. And then it's that's the pure, the motivator week in and week out. And it takes a ton of maturity, and I think some experience to get into that, framework, that mindset. But that is what you aspire to. So to me, it doesn't and it can't change. You have to have a standard that you go after, no matter what the situation. And then you've got a chance to play your best football each week.
He's the great coach, Chris Creighton.